Namaste friends, welcome to Yoga Bliss with Shelly, and I'm Shelly. Today's practice is self-love yoga. I'm here breaking the myth that self-love is selfish. I believe as a mom, as a wife of 16 years, as an artist, as a writer, as a vlogger and a podcaster, that self-love is essential for me to be my best self. And self-love is something that we can slowly learn, and through the practice of yoga, we can gain this ability to love ourselves, my friends. So grab your mat, peel the edges, unroll your mat, grab yourself a pillow and a blanket for modifications, because yoga is not a one-size-fits-all, my friends. And together, let us do this. Welcome, beautiful friends. Join me in your favorite Sukhasana, that crisscross applesauce. If you are prepared or not, you can pause this video real quick and you can grab either a nicely folded couch blanket or you can grab a pillow. So find what feels best for you. I like to give myself a little pelvic tilt, and it's almost like you're sitting on the ledge of that and your pelvis is tilted forward. And just settle into your body and allow yourself to find that crisscross applesauce. And this is joy here on this self-love practice day. And as we root into our bodies, my friends, just find yourself and bringing a hand or both hands to the heart. And just taking a moment to slow it down here. And you can gently close the eyes, bat the eyelashes closed, or you can find a drishti, a still visual point. You can find a plant or a picture, something that jives with how you're feeling in this moment. And allowing yourself to bring a long, lengthened inhale into the heart center. Expanding the ribs and organically allowing it to exhale. And just feel if it feels better for you. If you have a sinus thing going on, you might want to drop the jaw, melt the jaw, and breathe an audible sound through the mouth. Or it might feel good for you to breathe an organic breath through the nose. And this is the Puraka Pranayama. Pranayama is a technique we use in yoga, and it's combining the breath into the life force, which is the soul, the spirit, whatever light, whatever resonates with you. So bringing a long lengthened inhale, purifying that breath in, filling up that diaphragm, and organically just letting it go, and maybe a little free movement here. And take 5 of these purifying breaths as you tune into your heart and how you're feeling in that space. Bringing that breath in and just allowing however you're feeling to just swirl around you without trying to change you. Maybe noticing with each breath, noticing some of the thoughts clearing their way. Maybe dodging through some of the spaces between the thoughts as you lengthen that breath in. And allowing it to go. 2 more, my friends. Purifying the breath as you extend that inhale in. And just organically allow it to go. Last breath into that heart center, my friends. Exhaling. And from here, humbly tucking the chin. And you can keep the hands on the heart, or you can bring palms, kissing palms, in a wide open starfish hand. And you can rest that thumb firmly against the sternum, against that anahata, that heart center. And setting an intention for yourself, an intention for this practice. And for me, I know my intention is to give myself love in this practice, to be compassionate, to allow love for myself to be my guiding force today. Wonderful work, my friends. And gently batting the eyelashes open and extending the left arm long and extending the right arm long. And really opening up the arms like your wings, and you can really drive the shoulder blades together by working in the elbows in towards the side body, almost like if you're doing, I forgot, these back presses are called, maybe they're called back presses. My husband does them a lot, working the traps. And inhaling that breath in and exhaling those arms wide. Inhaling, pulling them back, and really allowing that heart center to open. And maybe exhaling the arms up high to the sky. Inhaling, opening up that heart for a cactus hand, cactus elbow, which is just bending at those elbows, my friends. Inhale to raise it up. Exhale to sink. Inhale to raise. Exhale to sink. From here, exhaling the arms long and just walking them ahead of you. And you can keep your hands up high, or you can flatten them down to the earth with a wide open starfish hand and just allow that body to walk forward as you exhale. And now gently crisscrossing and walking to the right side of the body and allowing the right body to compress as the left body opens. As we take a breath here into that side body and to allow ourselves in this moment to know that we are allowed to love ourselves, that self-love isn't selfish, that it is essential for us. When we can do things like practice yoga, we can make space for loving ourselves in our lives. Just really tuning into how it's feeling in your spine, in your body. And again, knowing that yoga is not a one-size-fits-all, meeting me back at center and walking to the left side of the mat. And knowing for you, maybe you might be able to get to here, or maybe you can walk your hands more towards the middle of the short edge of the mat on that left side. And just allowing yourself to just tune into how it's feeling in that body as you breathe an expansive breath into that right body that's expanded. And exhaling through the compressed side body. And just tuning in and giving your body love and just noting how it's feeling. Good job, my friends. Without trying to jump forward, just tuning into what it's feeling like here. Wonderful work. Walking those hands back to center, my friends. And from here, the choice is yours. You can flip the feet around the side, or I like to do this fun little movement. Joy's trying to throw his ball to me. And I like to, you might have seen me do this before, I like to from my sit bones. We're actually going to grab our blanket here too. So grab that blanket and just give a little support to the knees. This is really only for the knees, so you don't need to open it up super wide unless you want to. And I like to just really use the strength from my core and walk forward here. And that might not be in the cards for you, and that's okay. You have to show up on your mat where you are without judgment, and that's why I love the home practice of yoga. And really allowing yourself to tune into those wide open starfish hands. So that's just a really big wide open hand. I have really wide shoulders, so I need to extend sometimes my ring finger and my pinky off of the mat. So if you have wider shoulders, go for that. If you have more narrow body build, then you don't need to do that. You can kind of stack them underneath of the shoulders. And really tuning into the eyes of the elbows as you turn those towards the short edge of the mat, my friends, here. And taking a moment to just pause here as you align the knees under the hips, tune into the feet, and feel if it feels better to post them up or release them long. And inhale, tuning into that spine as you release and tuck the chin in towards the tail, bringing in a big breath to the back body. And taking a moment to just give love to your spine here. And inhaling that breath in. Exhaling, diving the navel towards the earth and allowing the tail and the chin to go up high to the sky in the spinal flexion. And breathing that breath in and letting it go. And taking 3 cow-cats at your own pace. And tuning in to what it's feeling like in your spine. And maybe it feels better to go quick, and you can do more than 3. Maybe you can go for 6. Or maybe you want to take it slow and pause and take 3 breaths. And that's just focusing on that inhale. And allowing that exhale to organically flow with that Piraka pranayama. Good job, my friends. Finishing up your last set here. Meeting me back at neutral and center and tuning into that spine and allowing the arms to lengthen long in front of you and allowing the palm of the hand to create a wide open starfish hand. So sometimes in these poses, we get kind of loose and lazy in our hands, so really activate through those fingers. And you can gently walk the knees back a little bit. I'm gonna take my blanket back a tiny bit. Protecting the knee joints is always a good thing. As you lengthen those arms long, sinking the heart towards the earth for Anahata Asana, bringing that heart here, or some like to call this the happy puppy. And just allowing that heart to sink into the earth as you bring the breath in through that back body and allowing it to go. And tuning into your shoulders, and this might not be for you. You might be able to just be up here depending on where you are in your shoulders, in your arm joints. So knowing that if you need to stay here in this cow and cat or in the tabletop, you may, or you can just feel what it feels like if you can get your heart near the earth, melting the forehead onto the mat. You can gently give your brow line a massage side to side, awakening that intuition, that intuitive heart, that intuitive self. Or some call that the gut instinct. I think allowing ourselves to tune into our intuition is a huge part of loving ourselves. Bringing that breath into the back body and letting that go, my friends. Inhaling, expanding at the side body and letting it go. Wonderful work, my friends. And allowing those arms to walk back, or hands to walk back underneath of the shoulders, and really tuning into, I'm gonna face you so you can see where I'm at. Sometimes I feel off and on about, I never teach a class with the mat, the long edge of the mat, but most online platforms, it seems like this is the way. I just wanna show you exactly what I'm doing, so I'm gonna face you. You can face me too if you want, because I personally like to see my instructor. We're gonna root that right hand into the earth and really tune into that elbow as we don't lock it. We're gonna keep it generous. It doesn't have to be so generous, but a baby bend to the elbow. And from the core, you're gonna course that core strength and inhaling in, that left arm up high to the sky. Exhaling as you thread through your needle, hovering for an active. And we're gonna do, I like to do 20 of these. Inhaling through 19. Keeping strengthened, 18. 17, we've got this. And slowly through the core, really tuning into what it feels like in the arms, 16. I know sometimes we do movements over and over, 15. And we don't really pay attention to the body, really turn on all of the muscles, even in the glutes, in the back of the legs, 14. Really tune in here and get this heart open, 12, 11, tuning into that strength of that hand on the earth. I was noticing mine was falling down, 10, you've got this, 9, this is one of those anaerobic exercises. There's aerobic and anaerobic. 8. I might be skipping some numbers, but that's okay. Strong. I like to add in my mantras. 7. 6. We've got this. Let's do 5. You can power through, or you can go slower. And on that last one, I'm on 4. On the last one, we're going to thread all the way through for more static, still movement. 2. Inhale all the way, threading all the way through, allowing the arm to lengthen long, allowing the palm of the hand to rest up high to the sky, allowing the cheek to rest onto the earth, my friends. Option to keep that right arm posted onto the earth, or you can take a soft bind by gently bringing that arm around the back. And this is one of those poses, if you've done it before, you can feel, you really have to settle into it. I know I have beginners in this, and sometimes people are wrenching on the neck. This should not be giving any pain or discomfort to the neck. This is going to be a really big stretch here in the arm, in the upper arm and the biceps.
in the shoulder muscle. This is an incredible stretch for that. It's not wrenching on the neck or anything. The head is just gently resting. For me, it's the flat part of the ear where it meets on the back side of my ear, where it meets to the back of my head. And allowing yourself to just slow down and acknowledge how you're feeling today. And maybe if you're having some pain, some physical sensations or some emotional pains, and just honor it without trying to change yourself. As you bring that purifying breath into your heart center and letting that go, and giving yourself love by simply saying, I love you, self. I love you, self. And I know sometimes that can be a difficult thing to say, and sometimes it doesn't feel true. It's essential for you to love yourself so you can love everyone in your life better. Breathing that breath in and letting that go. And bringing that hand down to the earth and firmly planting. Inhale as you corset that core strength, lifting all the way, unthreading the needle, bringing that hand all the way up high. Maybe that's wagging out the arm with that. If you need a little bit of that, that's okay. And coming back and just feeling what that's feeling like. I know my hip is feeling a little tight, so if you need to, you can just stretch out that body, maybe take a little free movement. Yoga is one thing that I really love about a good teacher is I want to let you know too is that I'm just here as your guide. I'm not here to tell you what to do. So if there's ever a pose or a movement that doesn't feel good for you, do what feels good to you. Do what you feel called to do. And I think that's such an important part of this home practice. And rooting into the opposite hand into the earth, so going into the left hand and really strengthening through that bicep all the way down through the tricep and into the fingers. You can really activate and feel from the thumb to the pointer all the way to the pinky, and slowly, gently rounding out, rolling the eye of the elbow towards that long edge of the mat, but with a gentle bend. I know that can sound a little counteractive, but you always want to give a gentle bend in yoga from the core. Corset that core strength. And what we're doing is we're twisting. So we're going to inhale, lift up from the core, exhale, twisting as we thread through that needle. And try to allow your eyes to follow with you as you 20, 19, and take these at a pace that feels good for you. You can keep track on your own. 18, 17. Really tune into the body and what it's feeling like in the glutes, in the arm. 17, 16, in that body. I like to inhale as I go up and exhale through. That might not feel the best for you. 14, 13, you've got this, you can do this. 12, strengthening through that core. 11, getting that anaerobic movement in. 11, 10, we're halfway there. We've got this, we're strong. We are loving ourselves, strengthening our core. A strong, healthy core. 9 makes a healthy body. 8, 7, really tuning into that body. 6, taking that slow and steady if you would like. 5, you've got this. 4, you've got this with me. We're right here together. We're doing this together. 3, 2, when you're on that last one, inhale slowly and mindfully. Exhale, threading that arm through, allowing that right arm to lengthen long, palm up high to the sky. You can have the option to keep the hand, wide open starfish hand on the earth, or give a little bit of a bind, which is just releasing and bringing the arm to the back body. For me, I like to bring the back of the hand near my sit bones on the opposite side. And when we allow ourselves to twist in yoga, it's a form of detoxification. So we are cleansing and clearing out some of our internal organs. It's like we're squeegeeing out little toxins in our bodies. It's so important for us to keep clean and detoxified internally, not just externally.
as in America, most of us are so concerned with always washing our hands. I know it's flu season, and I had 3 kids in the past 3 weeks with the flu, and I get the whole hand washing thing. This is just an integral part too of us loving ourselves, is taking time for twists and taking time just to slow down and just to notice, my friends. Breath in and allow that exhale to go. And knowing that breath is one of your most powerful forces. And if there's one gift I could give you today, is to never fear your breath. Never fear the judgment of breathing too loud. And knowing that breath can help guide you into each moment of your life. And slowly, if you have that arm binded, unbinding that arm, bringing that left hand palm down to the earth, threading that needle, bringing that hand up high, high, high to the sky, and back down to the earth, my friends. And I'm going to meet you back facing the short edge of the mat, my friends. And I'm going to move that blanket out of the way, my friends. And from here, creating that wide open starfish hand. So feel where your shoulder is and take about a hand print forward. So go about a hand print forward, really rooting those hands into the earth and activating through the thumb, pointer, middle, bringing all the way to the pinky, and lengthening one leg long as you power through the core, exhaling the opposite leg long. And know that you always have the option to stay on the knees. If you are on the knees, my friends, yes, keep that blanket back here. So tuning in for this plank pose as we lengthen those legs long, really hugging that core together as we hollow through the front body, rolling the eyes, the elbows out, tuning into your neck, if your neck likes to drop down or up high, and really creating this flat back. This is something where if you're just learning yoga, sometimes we have our butt down way too low, almost like we're doing an up dog, or sometimes like a down dog. So really the plank is right in the middle as we're working through this body, and just allow yourself to rock a little bit here, and gently exhaling, bringing the elbows towards your ribs, all the way down to the earth, lengthening the legs long, drawing the pelvis towards the mat, hugging the thighs together. As we inhale, the hands are still planted into the earth. Inhale, coming up for a baby cobra. Tuning into the elbows if they want to wing out, hugging them in towards the body. Lengthening those legs long. And feeling what feels good for you in your cobra. So your cobra might be a little bit more down here, giving yourself this lovely baby back bend. We're inhaling if that feels good for you. If you would like, you also can have the option to do an up dog, and that's going to be releasing the feet long. This is going to be a more advanced pose. And if you've done this before, you can inhale, hugging through the core, hugging through the inner thighs. Inhale, hugging that body up and bringing up here to an up dog. I know when I first started practicing, this was nearly impossible for me. So know that if you are a beginner or just on your path with yoga, that being here is good enough. It's all good enough. Poses, whether they're beginner or intermediate or advanced, it doesn't determine our ability to be good or not good enough, right? That's up to us as we inhale that breath up. Exhaling down, pausing here. Inhaling up and exhale as we're gonna do a little baby cobras. I do this when I teach kiddos, my kiddos and kiddos in school. And maybe hissing from side to side as you peek over your right and left shoulder. Maybe keep it a little active if that feels good for you. If you can, take 5 of these, just looking over each shoulder. Good job, my friends. Taking a moment to love yourself. Awesome work, my friends. And from here, my friends, we are going to do a couple different variations. So I know I have kind of bonier hips. They did really protrude in to the earth. And when I'm on harder floors, I like to put my blankie down under my hips. So that's up to you. If you feel your bones digging into the earth, put a blanket under them, because that's not the whole intention of this. From the core, imagine a line from the midline of the body, so that's going to run from the top of the head down to the where your booty cheeks crack, split right there, all the way down. That's your midline. So really allow yourself to hug that body in as you inhale, bending both of the knees up and bringing the soles of the feet up high to the sky and pointing the toes for a moment here. And I have my hands in Anjali Mudra ahead of me, and you can join me in this if that feels good for you. So pointing those toes up high and exhaling, driving the heels up high to the sky, almost like the ceiling is coming down. I know sometimes my feet like to freak out on this and they feel confused. Like, what are you doing? So maybe if you need to, take a moment and let's give ourselves some love here and roll out the heels. And I'm gonna just do a slow movement with my wrist too. So it might be one of those things like patting the head and rubbing the tummy. And Joy is hearing someone. If you can, or you can just slowly compress the hands together. And I always have poppy ankles. Joyo! Come here, boy. And as we allow those heels to drive high up to the sky, my friends, maybe find a little stillness. Maybe I'm gonna pop a little bit to the right, a little to the left, and find a little stillness. You can allow your arms to lengthen back behind you. And so knowing anytime we're using or lifting our head up, you want to be really leery that you're not just using all of the muscles in the neck, because that can really strain the neck. So really using the strength from the core and the upper body to lift you up and not just like pulling your neck up. I'm sure that if you ever tried doing a million sit-ups and then your neck felt like it was dying, your cervical spine, because you were using all those muscles. So Joy, come here. And as we bring the body up, we're gonna just inhale, lifting up as our first. Gently flying those arms back. Inhale, lifting up, squeezing the shoulder blades together. This is our first option here for this heart opener. And you can just tune into what this feels like. It's almost like you're flying freely. You can imagine like you were up in the clouds in the skies. Or the second option, my friends, is going to be keeping those legs bent, and you're gonna just reach back around and notice how that midline likes to fall away. So really hugging the body into the midline and the thighs together as Joy's trying to play fetch with me. And grabbing for the backs of the ankles, really hugging that midsection together as you inhale and lifting up, creating this little boat pose. And knowing again, this is not a one size fits all. And you have to let go of judgments of what you think you're supposed to look like and just tune into what your body feels like. And if that's too much for you, just flying that body back. As we inhale here, giving another one of these lovely back bends. Opening up our heart for this heart opener, allowing ourselves to love ourselves. Breathing 3 still breaths here. Pausing between the thoughts. Allowing that stillness to wash over our bodies. And just being with what is. Good job, my friends. And slowly exhaling the legs down and unraveling the hands if that feels good. Allowing one leg to lay long and the opposite arm to lay long. And just taking a moment here, you can turn the head to one side and just pausing and just tuning into what you're feeling like in your back, in your spine, in your body, if you're feeling ready to go or what it's feeling like. Self-love is something that takes practice, it takes time, it takes a willingness, and it takes an openness to allowing ourselves to shift our perspective of what self-love means to us. From here, my friends, bringing those palms, press firmly into the earth, and really rooting into those hands, posting up on the feet. And whatever this looks like for you, if you need to come up to the knees, you can come up to the knees first, or if you would like, you can power up into this plank pose. And from your plank, my friends, however it looks, if you need to be on your knees, know that that is wonderful as you really root those hands down into the earth. And exhale, diving those sit bones high, 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 high up to the sky, and walking your toes up. If you need to fix your shirt, if it's flying up over your head, do that. Fix yourself up. Set yourself up for success as you hollow out that front body and allow yourself in this lovely inversion. And really, as you allow that heart to sink towards the upper thighs, and letting go again of judgment of where you think that your heels need to be, and just tune into what it feels like as you scan from your hands to the forearms, to the elbows. I know I've been feeling like this funky little elbow injury lately. To the hips, all the way down to the thighs, the back, the body, and the feet. Wonderful work, my friends. And the option is yours. You can hop, hop, hop to the front of your mat, or you can walk the hands back to the feet and allow yourself to take a forward fold. If that blanket was there, allow that blanket to get out of the way, my friends. And allow yourself just to root into your feet as we fold forward. And again, letting go of that perception of how you think this needs to look. For me, I know I have tighter hamstrings, so that nice generous bend to the knees and a nice rounded back is wonderful. If you have more flexibility, you can straighten out those legs and fold forward. I also have a block here, and you can use a block if you like, or a small chair or a book to help you in your forward fold, because hello, props are our friends. Props help us with these modifications in our bodies, my friends. And one thing that I want to share with you is that when I first started practicing yoga, I always thought that props made me weaker and I wouldn't be as like much of a yogi if I use them. And as I've grown my practice, I know that props are here to support me and help my body. And I hope that you can know the same for yourself. Inhale slowly and move that prop out of the way, and allowing each vertebrae to raise until you meet me in a standing pose, my friends. And joining me at the back of your mat as you allow your feet to press into the earth and just feeling what it feels like here. I'm going to meet you facing you, my friends. And just tune into those feet as you lift up all the toes and press them as you're standing and empowered here in self-love. Just allowing yourself just to show up and be you today, and to feel whatever feelings, whatever is happening in your body without trying to change it. Yoga is here to help us accept and embrace what is, so we can allow things to just move on. Wonderful work, my friends. Allowing those arms to open wide, wide, wide. Exhaling, coming and crossing them across that center body, and just giving yourself a hug here. Hugging yourselves is an act of self-compassion. So if you would like, you can test your center of gravity and close your eyes, or you can use a drishti. And we're gonna just gently rock side to side. So this is one of those things that, you know, like we're in a crowd of people, we're feeling uncomfortable, we cross our arms because we're trying to give ourselves comfort. And knowing that when we can do small little things like giving ourselves hugs in moments where we're feeling maybe that social anxiety, or just anxiety from life, or overwhelm or stress, and I'm a mom of 3 and that gets really overwhelming, or going to work and dealing with customers or clients or patients, whatever it is, when we can slow down and just acknowledge how we're feeling and saying, it's okay to feel this way. And knowing that suffering and physical pain is a part of human experience. And when we can tune into that there's so many people experiencing this right now, and that we're not alone in this journey of feeling this way. And this self-compassion is a huge step towards loving ourselves, my friends. Awesome work. From here, we're going to step that right foot. I'm mirroring you, so sometimes my mind has to put me in check and I have to switch my body, because this is my left, but it's your right, and I'm switching it up, but I've got it down, And we're just gonna walk this left foot and open the legs up. So feel what this feels like for you. This can be anywhere from 2 to 4 feet wide for this pose, for this standing warrior 2. And what we're gonna do is we're really gonna tune in. My knee, you might not be able to see, is straight on this. This is the warrior 2. You might rock this out and you've done this a million times. So, and maybe you haven't, maybe you're new to the practice. We're really gonna root the feet into the mat. There's 4 corners of the feet, my friend, 2 in the front and 2 in the heel. As you root in, and you want to peek and tune into this front knee, because that knee likes to get a little lazy. So really tuning into proper alignment as we align the knee over the ankle. And when you peek down, you really want to just see the tip of the big toe. But if your body is not having that mobility or flexibility because of injuries, or just because that's how your body works, That is so fine. If you need to kind of come up and straighten that leg a little bit more, that's okay, because life happens and our bodies are not always perfect. And even if you need to bring that stance in a little bit more narrow, that's totally fine. So find that warrior that works best for you as you open the hips and open the heart and making that body long and strong, tuning into that inner warrior as you exhale, peeking over that right arm. It's almost like you're pressing an activate button. I like to pretend I'm a Jedi, Star Wars, or a Mandalorian. Mandalorian is awesome. I'm saving Baby Yoda. I love Baby Yoda. And really find that inner strength, that inner force within myself. We're going to exhale that hind arm down, bringing a backwards high five by flipping the palm of the hand up over the body. You can allow that hand to go back, or you can give yourself just a gentle bind. And that can be as gentle as bringing the back of the hand to the back of the glutey booty on that right side, or if you can get a little more tricky, you can try to creep that hand around. And if you can't creep that hand around, that's okay. Doing what works best for you as you give yourself this peaceful warrior. Joyo. Joyo got a peek of someone out the window, and he's protecting his house because he's a big man. He's hilarious. As you inhale, raising that heart up, exhaling that body out. Good job, my friends. Finding your inner warrior, your peaceful warrior. Breathing in a peaceful breath for yourself. And breathing a peaceful breath out. Lengthening those arms back to that warrior two. Inhale, bringing both feet facing the long edges of the mat. And you might notice the feet are gonna feel off because they were, right? So we're gonna just kind of walk that foot forward, and we're gonna switch the feet. So we're gonna switch this left foot. We're gonna bring that heel towards the short edge of the mat in the back, the toe towards the short edge of the mat in the front. And as we stance our body, you can always tell, I know I can tell if I'm set up like I'm more on a tightrope versus a set of skis, which is just going to mean opening that stance up a little bit wider and giving some space so you have more of a foundation in your body. So really rooting into that front foot as you peek and align that knee, checking into that hind foot also. And you can almost feel this resistance between the inner thighs and the groin and that pelvic wall. So that pelvic wall is just that space up in the pelvis where you can activate and kegel and feel that. And you can almost feel yourself zipping that line up through the body, through the core, and aligning the head over the heart and the heart over the hips, and aligning those arms as long and strong as you can. And sometimes our warrior, if our arms are not feeling where they need to be, you need to keep them down here. If you've had like a shoulder replacement or a shoulder injury or something, or even you can do your warrior hugging yourself across the midline of the body, depending on where you are. I know I've had this weird elbow injury, and sometimes things feel funny, and maybe it's one arm long, because sometimes warriors get wounded, and that's okay because we're still showing up. Exhaling that body long and strong as we inhale strength from all the warriors, and even all of the heroic and brave things that you've done for yourself in your life, noting and acknowledging that in this moment, my friends. Big breath into your heart center as you breathe love for yourself in, and allow the love for yourself to fill up the space around you as you exhale that right arm down, and you inhale, flipping the palm backwards for a backwards high five. For this peaceful warrior, you can allow the arm to rest down, or you can simply bringing the palm of the hand back on the back of the boot on that left body, or you can creep it around the leg if that feels good for you. Breathing in a breath for all of those peaceful moments that you've experienced. Exhaling out all of the chaotic, overwhelmed moments. Breathing in all of the peace from the mountains. Exhaling out all of the stress and overwhelm. Bringing in all of the peace from the sun and the moon and the stars. Exhaling all of the overwhelm. Letting it go. Breathing in a breath from all of the ocean and the water on the planet. Exhaling and letting what no longer serves you to go. Wonderful work, my friends. Exhaling those arms long and strong, you warrior. You've got this. Inhale, raising up. Bringing both feet facing the short, long edge of the mat, my friends. And from here, we're gonna bring the heels in towards the middle of the mat and bringing the toes towards the corners of the mat. And I love to do this variation of this goddess, and I like to listen to music, and I like to allow movement. I think that music is so healing. I can feel it, right? Music is. So I have actually on this YouTube channel a playlist that has Tahitian drum music, or you can just get on YouTube. Maybe if you have a different device, you can plug it in. Tahitian drum music is so fun to pop this in. So if you have that capability, pause this and put on some fun music. That's why these are blank, or put on music that you love. So really, as we tune into this goddess, even if you are a man, it's so important for us to find that balance between our inner feminine and masculine energy as we root our feet into the earth and really find that length from the sit bones, tracking up that midline to the top of the head, sinking the sit bones down, and allowing yourself just to tune in to that body and tuning into those knees if they're falling in. And maybe if they are, maybe you can allow yourself to just find a little freedom, a little movement in your body, and be playful with your goddess. Because we all have this innate ability to be this beautiful, vibrant goddess within our bodies, within everything, within our mind, our body, and our soul. I like to do this fun movement where I rock and get up on the toes and go toes, toes, and you can bring your hands into it. And if you've got the music rolling, like the bongo drums, you can let the music carry you away. That's why these have no music, so you can plug in what you want. Maybe getting the toes up, woo, a little different, feeling the burn, having fun, maybe allowing yourself to find your inner goddess. And if you want to, you can come up and find your goddess and bringing the toes and the heels, or pop up, and maybe just without your goddess, finding a little free movement, a little dance, swaying the hips, moving the ankles, feeling alive, feeling what it feels like inside of your body to create joy with movement. Maybe it's woo, doing a little leg kick, a little butterfly, whatever it is that feels good for you in your body, my beautiful friends. And allowing yourself to find a little stillness, to slow it down. Feels so good. Maybe let that tongue out like a dog and pant a couple breaths. As you draw the energy up from the earth, from the soles of your feet, allow your palms of your hands to face forward. And just gently bringing those palms of the hand crossing across the heart center, or you can grab opposite sides of the arms. And test that center of gravity. If you can, close your eyes to find that drishti and feel what it feels like in your body. Feel that cultivation of joy, of love, of alive energy, just from movement, just from you moving your body and taking time to love yourself today, my friends. Breathing in a long, lengthened breath into that heart center and letting that go as we tune back into that intention of self-love, of self-compassion. Allow this intention to wash over your body and guide you throughout your day today, my friends. Gently batting the eyelashes open, bringing palms, kissing palms to the heart center. Namaste, my friends. Namaste. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you. And if you have a couple extra minutes, I would strongly recommend laying back flat onto the earth and finishing with a 3 to 5 minute shavasana, and just allowing your body to just settle and be and take time to love you. I love you, and take time today to make self-love a part of who you are.